So for this next section, we're going to cover a couple of the basics about playing acoustic guitar. So as I mentioned in the tutorial for Freedom, you've got your E string, A, D, G, B, E. So those are the names of our strings. This is the sound hole right here. This you might hear me refer to as the bridge if I refer to it. This is the headstock, the neck. Each one of these little rectangles are frets. And a fret, each fret is a half step. So a half step is like and then a whole step will be So I talked about in the piano tutorial, I talked about what a major scale is. Right there. And a major scale is a pattern of half steps and whole steps. For right now, I don't know that we need to learn the scales on acoustic, but just know that that's coming in the future. I think the primary thing that is best to work on at first, and let me grab my metronome, is working on strumming and locking in with the metronome. Because as an acoustic guitar player, we're very much part of keeping the rhythm. You're like a rhythm acoustic guitar player. So it's so important that we lock right into that beat. So for this video, I'm going to do a little bit of just training on how to strum and how to lock in with the metronome. So holding the pick, I usually do just kind of like make a little thumbs up, and then I put the pick right there, just kind of like that, and then I strum like that. I keep my wrist very fluid. We don't want any tension in your wrist, just nice free flowing motion. So let's try that. Just nice free flowing motion. Now we're going to strum over the strings here. And what I'm doing is just down strums. I did this a little bit in the tutorial video, but we're going to work more on it here. So everybody do some down strums, covering the strings with your left hand. We're not focused on playing any chords or anything right now. Just focus on keeping that fluid motion with our right. You want to play right on the beat. As the beat goes, you want to be playing. So then I'll subdivide the beat. So right now we're doing quarter notes. I'll subdivide it to eighth notes. So instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, we're doing 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and make sure your wrist is moving nice and free. We don't want choppy. We don't want no tension, none of that. And also, you'll notice when I subdivide it, when I go from here to 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, the motion of my hand is a lot, it's not as big. So when you have more time, I might do it a little bit bigger. But when you start doing faster rhythms, it's kind of smaller movements. Especially if I go from these eighth notes and start adding some 16ths. So 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2. So those are 16th notes. A lot of times you'll hear guitarists use them when they're changing chords. So say I'm doing an eighth note pattern. 16th right here. of times that's when you hear them, is in the change of chords. So for now, just work on different tempos. I'd start slower. Like right now I'm at 110. So really lock in. Make sure you're hitting right on the beat. 2. It's better to do it slower and right on the beat than fast and all over the place. So work on those quarter notes. And you can get a metronome app on your phone for free. I use the Soundbrenner one. Soundbrenner, Brenner. So once you've really locked in on those, it's like, okay, I got quarter notes down. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. Then you really lock in on your eighth notes. And like we did for freedom, that eighth note kind of down, up, down, up, down, up strumming pattern works great. Now for that song, those were on quarter notes because it's so fast, but right now it's that nice. It makes for a nice strumming pattern. So really focus in on your strumming, work on changing the chords. You want to make sure that when you're changing chords, you're doing kind of smaller motions. You don't want big flailing with your hands. Just the essential motions, just small and quick. Your hands shouldn't be flying all over the place, and then that just inevitably slows you down when you do that. So if you have any questions about strumming, let me know. Make sure to practice. It's better. One thing is, it's better to practice every day if you can. It's better to practice every day for 15, 30 minutes rather than to practice for an hour and a half one day and then take 5 days off and then practice for an hour and a half again. The consistency in your practice is so important. What I normally would do is, say you're going to practice 30 minutes. For the first half of my practice, I would work on technique. So strumming patterns, working with the metronome, that's what I would work on for the first half. And then for the second half, I would begin to implement that into a song that I'm working on. So I'd practice my strumming patterns for Freedom. And then the second half of my practice, I'd work on the actual song Freedom, playing it with a recording or a metronome, whatever. So that's what I have for you to practice and work on. Looking forward to seeing what you all do and send me, and I'll have some more pointers for you after that. See ya.